Exposed. 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 You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
So we have to talk about Tana Mongeau because once again she's got herself into a bit of drama this past week, and it all started with a story time that she posted. Tana hasn't really been posting a lot lately, and her fans have been kind of annoyed that the original storytime Tana that they all fell in love with has pretty much disappeared this year. I get the feeling that a lot of Tana's fans kind of felt like she's lost touch with her roots and turned into everything that she swore she would never be on YouTube. There was the constant partying during a pandemic, the way she acted on her cancelled MTV show, and that interesting apology video that she posted a few months ago. Tana came back to YouTube and started posting really short David Dobrik style videos. They were really quick and featured random friends that no one really knew. I swear every single comment under these videos was negative. Once again, everyone just wanted Storytime Tana back. Well, Tana finally listened because last week she uploaded a 30-minute story time about her best friend hooking up with this guy that she was also hooking up with. She starts off by saying that she was having a really bad week because her ex-boyfriend, which we now know to be Modson, released a song about Tana, and it was pretty horrible. You guys can look up the lyrics yourself, but to put it nicely, he was accusing her of still having feelings for Jake Paul and really him over and pretty much says, "I hope you get what you deserve." Tana and her friends all decided to go out to eat at Boa Steakhouse, and they got a semi-private room for celebrities in the back, and what did you know? Modson is there having a release party for his song about Tana. They end up leaving and Tana's week goes from bad to worse. Tana's friend, who she calls Mindy for the sake of the story time, comes over and tries to cheer her up. Mindy is Tana's really good friend. Apparently Tana manages her OnlyFans and edits her photos for her, so they're really close and really great friends. Mindy tells her to have this guy that she's been hooking up with named Jeff over for the night. Tana thinks that's a really good idea. She calls Jeff and he comes over. According to Tana, she had all of her friends over, Jeff, Mindy, and this girl that Mindy really liked. Mindy told Tana that this girl was off limits because she pretty much called dibs on her and was really interested in this girl. So Tana has this guy over, Jeff, that she likes, and Mindy has this girl over that she likes. So all should be pretty balanced and good, right? Nope. According to Tana, Mindy was very obviously into Jeff and stayed close to him all night long and laughed really hard at his jokes. A few days earlier, Jeff actually commented star emojis on Mindy's Instagram photo, and according to Tana, that 100% meant that Jeff was into Mindy. Don't ask me how, but according to Tana's logic, that meant that he was into her. Tana could just tell right away that Mindy felt some type of way for Jeff. Since Jeff was really busy talking to Mindy all night, Tana decided to talk to the girl that Mindy liked. I'm guessing she did this to kind of spite her, if you're gonna talk to the guy that I like, I'm gonna talk to the girl you like. Tana then goes up to her room with this girl, apparently just to talk, and Tana says that's all that happened. At the end of the night, Tana's wondering where Jeff is because he normally says goodbye before he leaves, so she goes up to her balcony, and to her surprise, Mindy is on the balcony below in the movie room with messy hair. Long story short, Tana goes down there and they're both shocked to see her. Jeff swears that nothing happened, so Tana pulls out the surveillance cameras, only to apparently see Jeff and Mindy together in the movie room. She ends up telling Mindy to leave, it's a mess, and they're no longer friends. Of course, after the story goes live, all of her dedicated fans are desperately trying to search for who Mindy and Jeff are, and honestly, she didn't do a good job at all of trying to keep these people a secret because the internet found out instantly. All of her fans were tagging the social media accounts of Mindy, and they all went over there and absolutely flooded her comment section. Mindy is actually Tana's friend named Brooke. All of Tana's fans spammed every single photo on Brooke's Instagram account, saying some really nasty, horrible things, so Tana ended up having to release a statement asking her fans to stop. She wrote, "By the way, I never condone harassment towards anyone I tell a story about. I don't think with an eye for an eye mentality, and whatever that person did, I'll go to therapy over. No need to attack anyone, my little spray tans. I love you." Tana says she doesn't think with an eye for an eye mentality, yet went away to talk to the girl Mindy was interested in just because Mindy was talking to a guy that Tana was interested in. happen. Make that make sense. Anyways, people commented under this tweet by Tana saying, yeah, but you have millions of subs. You made it blatantly obvious who it was about, so of course people are gonna go harass her. Might be wise to state that in the video before you expose people for hurting your feelings. I mean, yeah, there was definitely extra steps that Tana could have taken if she truly didn't want people to find out who Mindy was, including the Instagram comments and giving her fans more info on the relationship between Mindy and her just made it super obvious for a dedicated Tana Mongeau fan that actually knows these people. I'm guessing the hate got really bad because Brooke actually uploaded a response video on YouTube called To Tana from Mindy. In this response video, Brooke says not only did Tana omit important information to fit her narrative, but she also outed her because Tana exposed that Brooke liked a girl and she actually wasn't out publicly yet. Brooke says Tana and this girl that she liked were talking all night long and everyone around could kind of tell that they were going to end up with each other at the end of the night. Brooke claims that Jeff actually sat in between her and Tana, but Tana was too wound up in talking to the girl that she didn't even notice Jeff trying to get her attention. Since he couldn't get Tana's attention, Jeff turned to Brooke and they started talking. Brooke says Tana and the girl went up to her room and locked themselves in there all night, leaving Brooke and Jeff pretty confused. Brooke says everyone who was there kept saying how shady it was that Tana went away with the other girl that she liked and called dibs on. According to Brooke, at the end of the night, Jeff and her went down to the movie room and they did end up hooking up, but they didn't hook up. She says the only security footage that Tana has is her standing with Jeff close together in the kitchen with a bunch of people around. She says the only reason that Tana knew something did happen is because she confessed to her the following day. At this point, Tana tells Brooke that nothing actually happened between her and the girl that she took to her room, so Brooke just felt even worse about what happened with Jeff. So yeah, we're definitely hearing two completely different series of events between Tana's story and Brooke's story. Personally, I'm a big believer in there's always two sides to a story and the truth falling somewhere in between. But we all know Tana didn't get to where she is today by telling 100% true, non-exaggerated stories. Brooke went on to say in her video that it kind of sucked because not only did she lose Tana, but she also lost all of her best friends because of course they were going to side with Tana. All of Tana's really close friends only have a bit of relevancy on the internet because of Tana, so it doesn't surprise me that they're all following their provider. I think it's kind of ironic that Tana's first storytime back in over a year is already causing such big issues. In the beginning of the video, she actually mentioned that she stopped doing story times because of a few reasons. She thinks they're unrelatable now compared to when she actually had things to complain about living in Vegas. She claims her sugar daddy actually threatened to sue her after a story time that she posted about him. And apparently she's also writing a book, so she wants to save some stories for that. I also find it kind of ironic that Tana is so mad at Mindy when she pretty much did the exact same thing to Bella Thorne. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about this situation. Do you think Tana should have made it less obvious, especially since she would be outing her best friend? Also, are you leaning more towards believing Brooke's story time about what happened or Tana's?